Thank you. This is a study comparing performance of various dynamic elastic response. The study was funded by Agility Dynamics, and we, my co-author, have no significant financial interest in the outcomes of this study. There are over 50 models of prosthetic feet that are currently available on the commercial market. One of those categories of feet is dynamic elastic response feet, which store and return energy. The idea is that by returning energy, you can enhance mobility and function, and it was thought that this would help people who want to be more active. However, the design seems to be done on a trial and error basis, and there's little scientific evidence to guide clinical prescriptions at present. So prosthetic guidelines tend to be based on opinion rather than scientific evidence. There's a new class of feet that have just come out called the rush foot by Agility Dynamics. And what's different about this foot is composed of a fiberglass composite as compared to carbon fiber. So the performance of this foot is unknown, and it was decided that comprehensive studies would be needed. So the purpose of the study was to compare the functional and patient-reported outcomes of individuals who are with a transtibial amputation that are using both the carbon fiber or the fiberglass composite foot. This was a crossover prospective clinical trial where half of the people were randomized to start on the carbon fiber foot and half were randomized to start on the fiberglass foot. They were given an acclimation period of 4 weeks before they were tested, and then the feet were switched from one type of foot to the other type of foot, and the testing was repeated. There were 10 male subjects, K3 transtibial amputees in the study. Average age was 49 years, average BMI was 29. And they had, on average, 10 years of prosthetic use before they were in this study. There were 9 different carbon fiber feet that were evaluated as part of this study compared to the fiberglass foot. Function was assessed in a gait analysis laboratory under 3 different ground conditions. People were studied during level walking, also during ramp ascent and descent. And during the level walking, 2 walking speeds were tested. One speed was a self-selected speed, and the other was a standardized speed which controls for the subject's height. So they're theoretically walking at all the same level. That's called the Fruit speed. And then patient satisfaction was assessed with the prosthesis evaluation questionnaire. We used a multivariate approach with a single factor repeated measures in NOVA to analyze the data. The 2 independent variables were the foot and the ground conditions, and the dependent variables were the ankle and knee biomechanics and the patient satisfaction. We set the statistical significance level at p equal 0.05. This is the way the results will be presented to orientate you to the results. There are several columns of data, and the left 2 columns are the level walking, first at the Fruit speed and second at the self-selected speed. 2 columns on the right are the ramp, first of all, descent and then ascent. And then there's the paired comparison between the carbon fiber and the fiberglass foot. In this case, the ankle dorsiflexion was significantly increased when using the fiberglass foot for all ground conditions. The ankle moment was also increased when using the fiberglass foot, although it was a trend towards statistical significance and not statistical significance. Importantly, the power generation was increased when using the fiberglass foot for all conditions. The peak knee flexion and swing did not differ between the types of conditions tested, nor did the time of peak knee flexion during swing. Patients reported increased satisfaction with the fiberglass foot. In particular, they were more satisfied with the appearance, the utility, and the well-being when using the fiberglass foot. The ankle is designed to absorb and generate energy for propulsion for locomotion. In this study, the mechanical power when using the fiberglass foot averaged at 1.43 watts per kilogram compared to 1.05 watts per kilogram when using the carbon fiber foot. So there was a 36% increase in power generation with the fiberglass foot. In comparison, the intact limb produces about 3.4 watts per kilogram, So even though the fiberglass foot did generate more power, it was still about 32% lower than the power that would be generated with the native ankle. Importantly, the magnitude and timing of the knee flexion did not change following with the use of the fiberglass foot. So that means that even though more power was being generated, it was generated at the appropriate time so that the knee flexion during swing was not affected. And finally, the patients expressed increased satisfaction with his foot. So in conclusion, this was a prospective clinical trial comparing the performance of fiberglass to carbon fiber feet over multiple ground conditions and speeds. The outcome was improved function, increased ankle power generation, and no detriment to performance on the adjacent joints, and improved patient satisfaction. Thank you for your attention.